Anita Goodesign Quarter-Turn Quilt. I cannot get enough of this pattern. This is yet another one, and I put a little twist to it, and I used Halloween fabrics and Halloween colors. Stay tuned, keep watching, and I'll show you how it's done. Hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue and I am from OML Embroidery. So here we go on the quarter-turn quilt, and I kind of made a mistake on this one. On block number 3, block number 1 and 2 are perfect. You can see how they join up. Number 3, I made a mistake, and it takes a few minutes to figure out what it is, but the colored polka dots and the orange polka dots, although they look like they connect right here, they don't. They're the wrong way. And the way you can tell is the boo web material, which is really cool, and the beige star ones. They're not supposed to be there. You can see that the beige star ones are, I guess it's gray, star ones are over here, so you can tell. So all I did is reverse it, and I kind of decided at this point, I was only doing 4, so I had to decide at this point, was I going to redo it and make sure block 3 and 4 matched 1 and 2, or was I going to work with my mistake? And I eventually decided to work with my mistake because it's not that bad. It added a little bit more to the design. So yeah, sit and figure it out. If you make a mistake, it is not the end of the world. It is not even a big deal. So the final decision was to work with what I've got. So let's take it to the machine. Here we are. I'm using my Brother PR1000E with the 8x8 quilting hoop. And I have a little bit of cutaway stabilizer, the no-show mesh kind, and all hooped and ready. So that's our outline for our batting, and we put the batting down. I'm using my usual really too thick batting, but it's okay. It makes the designs really nice. So the second step is that it's going to stitch it all down, and it's going to go around it twice to make sure everything is held tight. Once that's done, do your frame out. Everyone should be using their frame out. Oh, except for I didn't, but the rest of the time I do. And my duck-billed applique trimming scissors, which make absolutely short work of this, even with the too thick batting. Make sure you put your hoop back in the right way or you'll have a little bit of a mess. I've done it. Ask me how I know. So we're going to start with the applique now. And there's quite a bit of applique in this, but it's fantastic. It looks amazing. So there's the boo spiderweb fabric going down. I should probably iron before I, use the fabric. It just really makes it a little bit nicer. If you want really flat and if you want it to stay really nice, then use a little bit of spray, but don't spray it near your machine. I didn't for this one. I thought it looked just fine. It just depends on what you prefer. Some people like to put fusible on the back and, fuse it down. It makes it look perfect, but I think mine's good enough. So the second applique, and as usual, I precision cut a little too precision, and I'm a little short on the edges. So when you guys are doing it, make sure you leave, a good ½ an inch around the outside of it. It'll make a big difference when you're stitching it together. That reminds me, if you guys want a video of how to stitch these together on the sewing machine, let me know in the comments. Because I'm just learning how to sew, and I think once you do these gorgeous designs, and if you sew it together and it's wrong, it almost ruins the whole thing. So I've had to do a lot of practice. I am not a professional sewist by any any stretch of the imagination, but I can show you what I've learned as a beginner. So now that I've trimmed the second applique, it's going to do a nice, it's kind of like a satin stitch, but way less dense to cover up the edges there, and it looks amazing. I picked black because I thought it looked fantastic with the two fabrics there, and I did fussy cut the pumpkin because I thought he looked fantastic, and that's why I ended up a little short at the bottom there, but that's okay. So next applique, it is marked down, and we're going to put the piece, this is the gray fabric that we were talking about that matches or doesn't match. It's not in the right spot. It actually is in the right spot. It's the other ones that are in the wrong spot. Stitch it down twice, trim with your duckbill scissors, try to get as close as you can to the line. I should be using my frame out. I don't know why I did. Oh, it's hard to get around the camera on this one. So trim up the sides that count, leave the rest because you want an edge. I actually did that one not too badly, so I'm kind of happy leaving an edge. Put it back in, and the next color is, of course, the next applique. We're almost done with the appliques, so that's good. And I love this little fabric. Now, this is a charm square, so I didn't have to do any pre-cutting or anything like that, and I like that. So it fits right in there just nicely. It brings in all the rest of the colors. Now, this is from a pack that I got from Craftsy, Halloween pack. You guys have seen me use this so many times. So everything matches and goes together, and it's really nice. So I have the layer cakes, I have the charm squares, which are small, and I have a couple of yards of every fabric. I just love it. So that one's done, and it's decision time. So one of these blocks is right and the other is wrong, kind of wrong. Now you can see side by side that I switched the polka dot lines on it. So decision time. Do I make it the right way? Think about it. Can I make it work with the wrong one, or do I have to stitch two more? I decide to go with my mistake, which is absolutely fine. Make it work and make it look good, and the end result, I'm pretty happy with it. So the next step here is going to stitch the same type of satin stitch, zigzag stitch, whatever, to cover up the applique meeting point there. It makes it look a bit nicer. And now we're going to go to one more applique, and then we're going to do the folded fabrics, which give it a really, really nice edge, and you don't have to, you know, cover it up with anything. Again, cool if I ironed stuff down. I wouldn't have edges kind of bumping up like that. Minor detail. I don't always iron. Sometimes I do. I don't always. It's fine. I work with it. It just could be a little bit better. I really like doing applique when everything sits really flat, and I think it looks so much better. So ironing would be a lot better for me, so because it's the outcome that I really enjoy. But this pattern, the Anita Goodesign Quarter-Turn Quilts, there's 4, 5, 6, I'll have to count, different blocks that you can do, and this one was by far my favorite, especially in Halloween fabric. All right, so now that one's cut out, we are going to start with our folded fabric. And this is the first side. So with folded fabric, you want a nice fold line. So you put it down with the color side, the bright side down, and it's going to stitch it down. And then guess what? A little bit of spray. Don't spray it near your machine, please. But look at the nice fold I get when I do it that way. That's awesome. And it looks so pretty. It's a little more like the traditional quilting, piecing it together. And I think if you get a really nice, crease or fold in there, it looks even better. So a quick little trim on that side, and then we're going to do one more applique, folded fabric, and then the basics, the the foundation is going to be done on this. So the same thing as the other side. It's going to give you an outline of where you put everything, and you put the fabric down towards the middle, but pretty side down. It's going to stitch a line to hold it down there. Watch your fingers. Don't be getting your fingers in there. And I take it aside to do the spray this time. Just, it's not a good idea otherwise. Look at that nice fold. Look at those beautiful colors, even though those two strips are in the wrong color, but the wrong sides rather. I don't care. I still make it work, and I still think it's absolutely awesome. So I trim that up, and then here we go in super fast motion, all of the decoration that goes into this. Now this part takes, I think it was about an hour, just a little bit less than an hour to stitch. The applique and the folded fabric goes really fast. It's really fun to watch. I love the orange thread on the various fabrics. Even though the Boo spiderweb fabric is really busy, the orange really stands out. So I chose my colors really well on there. And I do like the fussy cut pumpkin. I don't think I stitch over him, but maybe just a little bit. It's really cute. So what I did is I changed all of the colors to corresponding Halloween colors. So I have orange, I have a really, really bright green that I find completely enjoyable. I have black, of course, and a really bright purple, and it brings everything together. If you look at the polka dot fabric and the other fabric, all those colors are in it, so it just ties everything together. So if you want to pick a theme, not necessarily Halloween, but how about Christmas? Then pick all Christmas colors and pick your fabric to match. And I think this would look stunning at Christmas. So somebody stitch it out and let me know. I haven't made a big quilt with it. I've just been really enjoying doing the 4 squares and putting them together for a wall hanging because they're gorgeous. In the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, there is someone who is doing a quilt, quarter-turn quilt, but actually a quilt, and it looks amazing. So check that out. It's worth seeing. Look at all the detail in this thing. I absolutely love it. It's busy and it's gorgeous, and I love all the colors that I picked. I absolutely love it. So let's let it finish, and we will take a look at the reveals. Oh, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Even with the 2 mistakes, the mistake squares, it still looks stunning. So had I done it right, these would be all orange and matching, and then the other side would be the polka dots. But I think I put it together rather gracefully, and I think it looks fantastic. To me, the most important part was the center of the quarter-turn quilt. I think the long bars on the outside, it's fine. I just did them, opposite, so it looks a whole lot better. The black polka dots is the same all the way around, and the stitching looks amazing on that part. So I think it kind of added to it. So it just goes to show you guys, if you have a mistake, you can sometimes work with it. And I am just as happy with this result as anything else. You can see a little more of the stitching there. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think that's amazing. I'm going to put this up on my wall year round. I don't even care. It is so bright and pretty. I love it. So do yourself a favor and try stitching out the Anita Goodesign Quarter-Turn Quilt patterns. There's quite a few to select from, and if you think outside the box even just a little bit, you can come up with your own, fabric and color the whole thing on it and change it from just a normal but awesome quilt square into a Halloween quilt square or a Christmas quilt square. I love this one. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys get stitching Anita Goodesign Quarter-Turn Quilts. They are amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.